来的时候，全
And
世
he
界
will
充
be,
满他的荣耀。
he will be the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords that he was meant to be and will be.
他将成为万王之王。
So he said that. He said a few other things, but nothing substantial. The two main messages, I
主
always
要
have to
两个信
repeat this.
息，
Christ told me is from the cross that he died for my sins and for the
就
sins
是
of the
他为
world.
我的罪跟全世界人的罪而死。
And that there's a great glory
第二
coming
个
at
就
the end of
是
the
极
age.
大的荣耀在末世，将有极大的荣耀。
And he asked me, and he asked all of us to remind people of that great glory.
Yeah,
Because it helps give them
well,
ultimate faith. We can't live in this world, but in the next world we have it, and he let me know it. And it's God's honest truth.
他要我们在这世的时候就思想他未来的荣耀。
So he completed a few words to me, nothing substantial. And then as he had never looked at me once, and as he dropped his head,
然后他主耶稣提。
by the way, the colors were black and white.
是那个时候我的颜色是黑和白。
The whole scene was black and white.
我所看到的都是黑跟白。
But there was two colors, his red blood
但是有血的颜色是黑的。
and his eyes were crystal blue. I know in the
他的眼
natural
睛是
he had
蓝色，
brown, Jewish brown eyes,
不是像我们想象的犹太人的灰
crystal blue. Especially when he looked to that glory, it was just like crystal blue. It was incredible. Then after he went through that last part, like I told you, he started to drop his head.
他最后结束的时候，他把头低下来，
And as he dropped his head, he looked straight at me.
他看着我，
He looked straight at me for natural time, a few seconds,
大
and of
概
course,
几秒的时间看着我，
I don't know how else to say it, but it melted my heart and
我把
soul.
我的心都融化了。
And so that day, I started getting real close to Jesus.
哦，从那天开始我就
And
跟
that's
耶
why I
稣
give
更
this
亲近。
testimony. It's the God's honest truth.
这
And
是
let's
你
get
们说
close
的
to
实话。
Him, no matter what.
Why you come to DC? Ask the question. Why you come to Washington DC?
What's that?
Live like a homeless.
为什么你来到 DC，做好像是一个流浪人？
Why do I come to D.C. and live like a homeless? Well, first of all, I do have a home, a 3-bedroom house, all paid for on 3 acres. So,
我其实我也是有房子的，
and
在
with
3个
Jesus,
亩的地上。
and with Jesus, as y'all know, we are never really homeless. Never.
但是有耶稣，我们永远不是流浪
But I
人。
come here to help
但是我来到
help
这
save
里，
this nation
是要
so
来
we
救
can
美国。
keep doing what we're doing right here today.
所以我
In
们
China, you can't do this
可以自由的敬拜，在中国你是不能的。
without being thrown in a prison. And I come here for America and
我来
first
这里
and
是为了
foremost
美
for
国
God.
为神。
But God created America. I say it every day on the streets. He created this freedom. He
他
created this
这个自由是
nation.
他给的，
He wants us to stand for our
他
nation.
要我们为美国站立。
Non-violent and peacefully and even lovingly and godly. But He wants the American people to stand now
让
while
美
you
国正式
can.
来站立。当你还可以站立的时候，你要为美国自由站立。
So I'm 6 months on the road.
我
I
6个
came
月
out
出来流浪，
with the People's Convoy and I haven't
跟
gone
这个
home.
车队一起。
Till the weather gets cold in the election, I'll probably head home.
我大概天气冷的时候我要回去了。
Thank you.
Try everything.
I just want to share a little bit about this amazing God that we love. And we
Tell
serve.
people who you are, Rose.
I'm Rose. My name's Edwina Rose. I'm from California,
我是从加州来的，
and I am a servant of the Lord.
我是神的仆人。
20 years ago,
20年前，
you guys would remember an incident that we all know as September 11th, when
9/11
the
事
Twin
件，
Towers were hit.
在美国的双子星被击中。
I live in Northern California and Nevada area on the West Coast.
我那时候住在加州，
And on that day,
那天呢，
I got got 2 calls that morning.
有2个电话来，
The first was from my mom.
我妈妈一个是，
She called to explain what was happening on TV.
她告诉我电视上发生的事，
She was telling me that the news was showing our country under attack.
她说电视上看到美国正在受攻击，
She tried to convince me that I didn't understand.
她讲了一些我听不太懂，
And I told her it must be a movie or something she was watching.
我想这大概是一个电影吧，不可能是真的，
I hadn't had TV myself for 7 years
因为我那时候已经7年没有电视了，
because the Lord had impressed upon me to give up the ways of this world.
因为主感动我不要有电视。
My mom finally told me my sister was watching the same news.
那我妈说我的姐姐也在看，
My sister who lived 3.5 hours in a different part of California.
也在加州3个半小时远，
And that's when I got the second call.
所以
that
我的
morning.
第2个电话就是从姐姐来的。
That call was not on a telephone or not in a normal way. That call was a call from God.
第2个电话是从神来的。
In that moment, I became extremely and thoroughly convicted in my heart.
我的心中就极端的受感动，
And the conviction was just so amazing and strong.
就非常的惊人。
And God was telling me
神说
that I had to go.
我必须去。
For years before that, God had told me to go and make disciples of the nations. He had sent me on mission trips outside of our country.
因为神曾经就是叫我去这个不同的地方去宣教，
But this was a mission
但是这次叫我去是要来为美国。
with the leading of God and His help,
有神的带领跟帮助，
I wound up leaving that day, September 11th, 2001.
我那一天911那天呢就离开了。
And that was the very beginning of this amazing and wonderful journey that the Lord took me on.
那个时候神就开始了我一个呼召的旅程。
And during this time, I literally can tell you of miracle after miracle and places where God just showed up in my life again and again and again.
从那天开始，每一天都是神迹。
He is such an amazing God if we just let Him have control of our lives, if we surrender.
只要我们愿意降服于他，他真的是奇妙惊人的神。
He is incredible and He can do anything, but we have to give up our control and our power over our lives. We have to give everything to Him.
只要我们愿意降服，他能够借着我们做任何的事。
That day, He provided miracle after miracle,
从那天开始就是神迹，又接着神迹。
specifically on that September 11th day when there was a massive disaster going on.
特别是那一天，
Well, people were looking for their family members.
那911那天，大家都在找他的家人，
Well, firefighters were rushing in to save people,
救护员冲进这个双子星的救人，
losing 343 firefighters
很多人失去生命
the
了300多。
FDNY. And while so much was happening
这么多事发生的时候，
in New York, I was experiencing miracles in my life because of this incredible God.
我的生命当中确实充满了神迹，因为神这么伟大。
He provided for me that day.
他那天给我供应我，
He allowed me to leave that evening when I didn't have a running vehicle to go to New York.
那个时候我那天就往纽约去，我虽然没有车，
The planes were grounded. There was
Yeah,
no
maybe taxi.
transportation to get, public transportation to get to New York.
没办法去，
But the Lord provided. He provided a vehicle
但是他却给我一部车，
that probably shouldn't have gotten me across the county, much less across the entire country.
把我从加州带到纽约去，
But by His grace
因为他的恩典，
And in His infinite wisdom,
他充满了智
that
慧，
car ran perfectly as long as I was on His plan, on His schedule and His timing.
我就照着神的旨意跟他的时间表，这部车居然开到了纽约。
And when I tried to take my own detours, I literally found out that he would show me that I was going the wrong way.
如果我走错路，他会把我带回来。
God started me on that journey that day of September 11th.
那天911那天，神就开始了带领我的旅程。
And again, day after day,
每一天，
miracle after miracle,
神迹接着不断，
He's showing me how faithful He is
他让我
and how
知道
wonderful.
何等的信实，何等的伟大。
When I got into New York 3 days later,
3天以后，我到了纽约，
after driving almost 3,000 miles
还有
in
3
3
天
days
3天，
because of God's strength, not on my own strength.
靠着神的力量，我做了。
I was not affiliated with anybody, not working with any group.
我没有跟任何的团体有关系。
I had tried to call, but New York was in chaos. Their communication was down. Nobody called me back.
我打电话了给几个地方，但是他们都没有跟我回。
And when I got there, I found myself in a city of 10 million people, not knowing where to go or what to do.
我到那边一个1000万的人口的城市，我什么人都不认识。
But God,
但是神，
God is so gracious.
他真是充满恩典。
I was literally at one point crying out in the streets of New York saying, God, I know you sent me here. Where do I go? What do I do?
在纽约的街头上，我跟神呼求说：“神啊，你把我带到这里来，你现在要我怎样？”
He took me to a place where I needed just the basics, prayer, like specific prayer for my one need.
我那时候走到那里，就是有一个祷告，为了我的需要。
And as I cried out to him and asked him what to do,
跟神呼求的时候，
he sent me to a specific place. And from then on, I did not take another step without asking him specifically, where do I go? Where do I drive? What do I do?
从那天开始，他把我带到一个地方，我就不需要每一个脚步都来求问他。
It was like I was a baby and just taking every instruction from him.
我就好像一个 baby，什么事情都要靠神。
He led me to a place to park, and I bowed my head to pray, not taking another step until I asked him where to go from there.
他带我到一个地方停下来以后，我就开始问下一步。
As my head was bowed and my eyes were closed, a man drove and parked right in front of me.
那我正在低头祷告的时候，有一部车停在我面上。
I got out of my vehicle to walk to where the Lord was leading me in prayer to walk, and the man asked me a question.
我走出去的时候，边上那个人就问我个问题。
He told me he had seen my license plate from the West Coast, and he said, "Where are you from? What are you doing here?"
他看到我的那个车子的这个牌子，然后说是加州，他说：“哎，你从哪里来啊？”
I explained that the Lord had convicted me and that I drove from back in California across the country.
我就跟他说，我有感动，从加州开到这边来。
And he thanked me, and we talked for a little bit, and we went our separate ways.
我们谈了一会儿，然后我们就分开了。
But as I was walking away, he called to me to stop. He said, "Wait, I have something for you."
我正在往前走的时候，他突然停住我，叫住我说：“我有东西要给你。”
So I walked back between the cars and he handed me something from his car.
就车上有东西给我，
A piece of paper that was laminated that I started reading at that time.
啊，有一张纸，
This placard was from the FDNY Fire Department and allowed me to park anywhere in New York because God had provided.
这个是一个美国消防队的一个特别的停车的允许，然后让我可以在任何的地方都可以到。
God had provided this incredible provision. That placard is like gold in New York, and that is not said lightly.
这张停车的允许呢，真是像一个宝藏一样。
New York has a horrendous parking problem. You can't park anywhere.
在纽约呢，不能随便停车的。
And God provided that gift to me that let me park any